From bringing us the story of one of the craziest decades in LA's history, to hidden messages teaching powerful lessons, here's everything you need to know about the future of Snowfall. After 6 successful seasons, showrunners decided to quit while they were ahead, and pulled the plug on the series under network advisement. You might remember that Snowfall's network, FX, was the first to say that the show would be back for a 5th season. But in May of 2021, the network said that the show would end after season 6. It'd be the understatement of the century to say that fans were upset. I mean, they were in an uproar and couldn't believe the show was coming to an end because they had high hopes for its future. But showrunner Dave Andron was actually happy with the network and feels that a network that backs you up and lets you go out on your own terms is always the best case scenario.
It's kind of my full happy place, honestly, and all the hats you end up wearing running a show.
But back in 2019, everything changed when John Singleton, Snowfall's hero, passed away. As both an executive director and co-creator, Singleton played a key role in the making of Snowfall, and fans and colleagues in the entertainment biz were devastated by his sudden passing. John was the reason this groundbreaking series was made in the first place, and sadly, he was unable to see his hard work come to a satisfying end.
The Snowfall is when the prices of cocaine come down and everyone has access to this thing, and how it evolved and changed into the crack epidemic. Wow. So that's what the Snowfall is.
The rest of the creative team couldn't go on without him, and fans speculate that John's untimely death is the real reason the show came to an end. Did you know that Snowfall fans even started an online petition to bring the show back? True story. The network was flooded with thousands of signatures from fans in a matter of days, with many tweeting about how upset they were with FX, starting the hashtag #RenewSnowfall, and it was trending in no time. Unfortunately, there wasn't millions of people involved, but it was clear that they were one of the most loyal fandoms ever. Even though everyone wanted to keep watching, the show wasn't revived, and we haven't heard a peep out of FX about renewing Snowfall for a 7th season. Fans still enjoy the show by watching the previous seasons though, and they imagine what could happen in season 7 if it's brought back. So, if you'd like, you can get some snacks, get comfortable, and have a binge-watching marathon of all the old seasons. In the meantime, I'll keep my fingers crossed that showrunners will be able to sign a deal with FX for a spin-off or two. I know I speak for a lot of people when I say that the story needs to continue, because this one was a real gem, and no one was surprised that it kept getting picked up again and again, season after season. I'm assuming most of you watching this video know what the series is about, but for those of you who don't, let me give you a quick rundown. Debuting in 2017, Snowfall is an acclaimed drama about the cocaine epidemic in 1980s Los Angeles, and it's kept fans on the edge of their seats ever since. Season 6 saw drug lord Franklin Saint, played by Damson Idris, for the very last time, and trust me when I say that the season finale was amazing. After Franklin's mother Sissy kills Teddy and goes to jail, Franklin fights with Veronique and later finds out that she took his money and his child and moved to another country.
Is this maybe what Veronique was here about earlier?
Sorry, what?
Miss Turner. She was here this morning and made a substantial cash withdrawal.
So basically, the drug lord ends up back where he started, with nothing. It was shocking that the show would end this way, but the way it was handled was beautiful. Even Damson accepted that it was necessary. Franklin needed to be held accountable for the harm he'd caused, and there was no way to end things. It was karma at its finest. As you can expect, Snowfall has had a big impact on popular culture, and these days, it's not often that a TV show lasts for so long, with such amazing ratings. So there's no question that Snowfall's become a classic FX drama. The last 2 seasons were praised by critics, smashed viewership records, and were hailed for their fearless depiction of the LAPD. In season 5, we see the LAPD take extreme measures to combat the drug problem, raising the stakes like never before. And season 6 drove fans even crazier. When the season kicks off, Frank and his crew are dealing with the effects of the attack on their business by a Mexican cartel. The season centered around the devastating impact Franklin's actions had on his community, and how the CIA played a big role in the explosion of crack in LA. Throughout the season, the key players face new problems and old problems, as Franklin deals with the consequences of his actions, fights to keep his power, and protects his family. CIA agent Teddy McDonald struggles to deal with his own culpability in the drug epidemic and faces a challenging moral dilemma as he tries to balance his duties to the agency with his personal values and beliefs. We also meet two new characters, Jamar, a former gang member who becomes Franklin's new partner, and Irene Abe, a writer investigating the CIA's role in the drug trade. During the season, the characters' stories cross paths, and their relationship becomes more complicated than ever before. With the central themes being power, greed, and loyalty, we get to see how the little white rocks change the lives of the people in the neighborhood, and the series gives us insights into the lives of the dealers pushing all the poison. The theme of systemic racism is also explored, revealing the impact it had on the drug problem and the criminal justice system, and even though it was eye-opening, it chilled me to the bone. The final season was gripping, suspenseful, and thrilling, and in many ways, the political and socioeconomic problems that it highlights from the 80s are still relevant today. It's why fans love the show as much as they did. By the end, Leon's return from Ghana and his efforts to help Franklin, a recovering addict and homeless veteran, were very touching. Leon asks Franklin to join his new project, a free legal clinic, in the hopes that it'll give Franklin a much-needed sense of purpose and a chance to give back to the community. But Franklin turns down the offer because he'd rather feed his addiction than improve his life. We also saw the cops seize Sissy's house because she hadn't paid her taxes, which was a sobering reminder of what can happen when you break the law. Leon offers to pay their back taxes, but Franklin rejects his offer once again. Another reason fans love the show so much is because of all the hidden messages. The main lesson was to take responsibility for your actions, hold yourself accountable for the decisions that you make, and make choices for your long-term happiness rather than short-term gains. One hidden message that was impossible to miss was the importance of having someone like Leon around, who can guide you and help you grow if you lose your way in life. But there was one powerful message that stood out above all the others. The biggest problem with making poor choices is the impact it has on those we love the most. And Franklin, being left alone by the end of the series, without money or family, is one of the biggest sobering reminders I've seen on screen in recent memory. If we don't end up getting a Season 7 revival or a spin-off series, I think there's a chance we could see a feature-length film adaptation down the road, because there's a lot of material left to be covered, and the story can be taken in several new directions. It'd be nice to see Franklin rise up from the ashes, turn his life around, and mentor people who are heading down the wrong path. Maybe he can make up for all the lives he took by saving lives. I don't know, it's just a thought. So, there you have it. From hidden messages teaching powerful lessons to bringing us the story of one of the craziest decades in LA's history, here's everything you need to know about the future of Snowfall.